This movie is worthless. It's beyond redemption. Not even for the most obsessed Borderlands fans. This movie is actually a great insult to anyone who's even liked the games or had a slight interest in the games.
This movie just gets worse the longer you stay in it, and hurts even more when you pay attention to the locations they choose to talk about.
I don't know who this movie was supposed to be for. There is some fan service in there, and I do appreciate some of the fan service, but some of the fan service was f***ed up. Let's just be completely honest.
I mean, of course it's awful. Did you really expect me to say something different? It was both critically panned and the audience hated it as well. There's no way in hell, even if I was the biggest contrarian on the planet, I couldn't pretend this movie is good.
Borderlands is 102 minutes of complete, unmitigated dog feces. A wretchedly terrible, horribly written collection of lame, bloodless, tediously protracted action sequences strung together by the most paper-thin, nonsensical excuse for a plot.
Randy Pitchford, the CEO of Gearbox Software, the creator of Borderlands, can keep on deflecting, keep on crying, but it doesn't change the fact that the Borderlands movie is a giant flop and a pile of garbage.
I had very low expectations at the start, but yeah, I just sat there and thought about it and thought about it and thought about it for like 5 minutes if I actually enjoyed the movie. It was weird. I've never done that with a movie before, but that was like the first time.
If you've seen the movie, I'm sorry. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm jealous. It's truly atrocious no matter how you spin it. Every possible thing you could ever hope to enjoy about a film is absent in the Borderlands movie. I think it's unanimously hated across the board. If you find me one human being that says it's a good movie, I'll find you a liar.
In May of 2015, Lee Wannell was in talks to write and direct a Borderlands movie adaptation, but their involvement was left omitted for unknown reasons. Instead, Eli Roth, the producer of these films, took his place as the director of the film in August 2015, just 3 months after the initial talks with Lionsgate. Eli Roth had stated that his French bulldog, relieving herself, gave him inspiration while pitching the film. I wish I was lying. I actually have the full quote right here. He says, "I have to look away because she gets really shy, but one day I filmed her. She had that shy look on her face and I was like, that's Claptrap." Because of this, a scene of Claptrap relieving himself was put into the film.
Are we really ready for this to finish?
Keep looking at me!
It's things like this that make me question how the film was even greenlit to begin with. Fast forward to April 2016, and Aaron Berg was writing an R-rated script for the film that we had all been hearing about through leaks. But that didn't last long, as by June 2018, Oren Uziel took over scripting duties on the film. Then, on February 20th, 2020, the Borderlands film was confirmed to be directed by Eli Roth, with Eric Feig joining him as a producer. Oh yeah, remember how the script was passed from Aaron to Oren? Well, guess what? It was passed off to another writer named Craig Mazin, only to be rewritten by 2 other writers named Jewel Taylor and Tony Rettenmeyer, then again by Eli Roth himself. With the amount of times this script was rewritten, it's no wonder that the writing was so bad. Around a year later in 2019, a certain pandemic hit, which halted things moving forward on the film. Yet another reason the development was so rocky, in my opinion. But after about a year of not hearing much, finally in May of 2020, we got our first casting for the movie, and that was none other than Cate Blanchett as Lilith. When fans originally heard about the casting choice for the film, they were skeptical to say the least, but fans reserved judgment until more of the cast was announced. Then, the rest of the cast was announced in 2021 between the months of January and April. These castings consisted of Kevin Hart as Roland, Ariana Greenblatt as Tiny Tina, Jack Black as Claptrap, Jamie Lee Curtis as Tanis, and Florian Montigny as Krieg. After fans heard who the rest of the cast was, they were very worried, and the general consensus was that the cast was too old to play the roles of our beloved characters. But again, most judgment was held until an official trailer release. After this, the cast and crew began filming for the Borderlands movie on April 1st, 2021 in Budapest, Hungary, mid-pandemic. No, this wasn't an April Fool's joke. They wrapped on June 22nd. Then, we got silhouettes of all the main characters and things weren't looking too bad. But later, in January of 2023, the film had to go through 2 weeks of reshoots by Tim Miller as Eli Roth had left to make other movies during the production. Again, what the heck were they thinking? Around this time, things looked so bad that Craig Mazin, one of the writers I mentioned earlier, removed his name from the project entirely. This came as a huge red flag to fans and made people feel as if the movie was in production hell. Then, on February 21st, 2024, we got the official Borderlands movie trailer, and the fans were outraged. The dislike to like ratio skyrocketed, and to this day hasn't gotten any better. Social media platforms like Twitter and YouTube were flooded with tweets and videos criticizing how the movie looked, and hell, I think every Borderlands creator knew that this was coming, yet they just didn't want to believe it. Still, the movie hadn't been released, so there was still some hope. Then came the big day. On August 9th, 2024, the movie was released and the fans and critics alike tore the film to shreds. It was exactly what the community was hoping wouldn't happen. Yet another video game adaptation ruined by complete lack of following the source material. Things in the movie felt odd and forced. And oh, by the way, if you didn't notice it before, there's a crew member helping open this hatch that was accidentally put into the film. Then, Randy Pitchford tried to cover it up and said it was brick, but he was cut from the film. Right. And here we have the next reason for the many failures of this film. Randy, did you watch the movie Pitchford? Randy is the CEO of Gearbox, the studio that makes the Borderlands games. So, naturally, he was around for the movie production as well. In the past, Randy has been notoriously bad at taking criticism, no matter what it was about. He has consistently argued with fans and talked to them in such a condescending way whenever there was pushback. But that was the past, right? Wrong. After the movie dropped, he hopped on Twitter only to be met with understandably upset fans that, for the most part, were giving valid criticism, like Paul Tassi, Killer 6, and even to an extent, Epic NNG. So, what does Randy do? He blocked all of them, under the guise that hate and violence was being spread against him by them and others. But wait, it's okay guys, because he really only meant to block Paul Tassi out of the 3 mentioned, as Paul apparently has it out for Randy, did you watch the movie Pitchford? My only question to Randy is how the hell did he not know who Killer 6 was when he is one of the biggest creators for his franchise and he's literally met the dude in person before? Like I said in this video, bad leadership affects your entire operation. So it's no secret that the movie and the games have been trash for the last 5 years. Now, that brings us to present day. The movie has passed and Borderlands 4 has been announced, most likely to brush the flop of a movie under the rug and move on. But I wanted to document the failures made along the way, as it was just too stupid not to. Anyways, thank you for watching. I worked pretty hard on this, so a like would be awesome. Also, shout out my channel members, Jayus and Neverless Raven. But with that out of the way, I love y'all, have a good day, see you in the next one, and let's hope that Borderlands 4 is good. Goodbye.